Good evening, you guys. I decided to jump on for like maybe an hour. I always say that. I just got home though. I'm gonna wait and start giving people the opportunity to start getting the notifications. It's open topic tonight. There's some stuff I want to talk about, but I'm gonna just leave the topic open, child. Lord, I just kind of jumped on a whim. Wait and start letting people get the notifications. I see four people has gotten on. Hey Yam, how are you? You doing okay? Hey Robbie, hey Letitia. I jumped on a whim. You guys doing okay tonight? Hey Miss Diane. I'm doing really good. This weather is so freaking bipolar. I cannot stand cold weather. I love it when it rains, but not when it's rainy and cold. And I just walked in the house, right? I just walked in. I had a taste for some Mexican food tonight. So off of my diet, but I had to have some Mexican food and I had to have those chicken flutes and some Mexican rice. So I just had a taste for that. But I've been out all day today. Uh and I got me some heels, y'all. Like heels are like my therapy when I'm able to just go shop and to just buy me some stiletto heels. That's like my stress release. That's my stress release, I promise. Hey Miss Teresa, hey boss lady. Did I say Letitia? Little Miss Muffin. How are you guys doing tonight? Hey Cornell Jackson. Hey Miss Diane Wright. You guys doing okay? I had wanted to do open topic, but I'm gonna tell y'all something that we had not talked about. I was looking at today, I had the opportunity, sit still for just a minute, and I was looking at something. I was looking at y'all know, hey beat boom boom. I was looking at um one of Puffy's and Jay-Z's old security guards. And I don't know if y'all followed Puffy's one of Puffy's security guards, Gene Deal. I follow him. I follow him on Instagram. I follow him on YouTube, and he has been telling the story about Puffy and Biggie for the longest, and I believed it. He never said that Puffy put the hit out there, but he definitely put the information out there. He kind of did like what I do. He puts the information out there for you to come up with for you to use your brain and come up with your own analysis. But he puts all of the information out there. This security guard basically said that Puffy paid him 30 grand to try to take Biggie out, and I believe it. Y'all know 30 grand back in 1997 was equivalent probably to $300,000. So back in 1997, $30,000 went a long way. I was looking at that. I was like, I believe it. I just do. Hey, Leo Thompson. Hey, Joy Love Scott. Shout out to the mods. I was looking at that. I was like, I believe it. I 100% believe it. My husband got a minute schnauzer puppy for Valentine's Day. Oh my God. You don't have to show us a picture. Send me a picture on my email. Hey Daryl, I had wanted to breed Remy, and I thought about I don't never have time. I don't have time. And I know me, if I breed her, see, my cousin has a Yorkie. Y'all know Yorkies I could sell for a lot of money. It takes a lot of time, which I don't have a lot of time. I'm always on the go. Hey, Torshi. I am always on the run. Okay. But I know me, like if Remy got pregnant and she had the puppies, I wouldn't want to sell them. I'll be sad to sell the puppies. I know how I am. Because dogs are very protective of their puppies, and they cry when they have to leave them and stuff. And I know me, it'd be so hard for me to get over Remy crying because I'm selling all her puppies and stuff. I just don't have that type of heart. I on some things I'm just too tender hearted. I be trying to keep all the darn puppies and take care of them. And I be like, I'll just sell the next batch and won't be able to sell that batch either. I'll be the damn dog lady. But I could make a lot of money off of Yorkies. But I'm telling you, Remy is spicy. I always say, Lord, I think I got the crazy one in the batch. Remy. We be at the park, child. Remy be barking. I be taking her to the dog park, honey. And she be barking. And, I be seeing all the white, as they say, the white peopleses with their dogs walking in the dog park. And they be real big dogs and they be gentlemen. They'll look at her and then they'll just drop their head and start back walking just like they don't hear her. And she just be barking. I was like, dog, she just have to let it be known that we ghetto, like we from South Memphis. We can't even go to the dog park without her giving it away that I grew up in South Memphis. I'm like, dog, I can't even sneak into the dog park and disguise myself. She gotta let it be known we from the damn hood. She be, ow, 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 ow. I was like, dog, Remy, please stop. And I go, I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know what's wrong with her. She normally don't do this. I be embarrassed. I mean, she will bark the whole time, won't stop. I go, I don't know what's wrong with her. I don't know what's going on with her today. She normally don't even act like this. But child, I was so embarrassed. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of times when I'm at the dog park and stuff, yeah, y'all know them lawyers and stuff. Be having their puppies and stuff. They be out there walking their dogs and stuff. So that'll be the opportunity for me to try to make conversation and stuff. That's how you get business, right? And so shoot, I was like, I'm taking her to the damn daycare so she can get some training because she embarrassing me. And they kicked her out the damn daycare. I said, I can't win. I can't even win. They said she didn't get along with the other dogs. Yeah, they told me not to bring her back. Okay, rest in peace, young dog. I'm getting ready to check. I said, Lord Jesus. Hold on, y'all. Okay, yeah. Rest in peace, Young Dolph. Listen, look at your thing. Okay. Let's see. Letitia Wing says, you know what they say, you can take some people out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the people. In this case, it should you can't, I'm telling you, Justice. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Let me see. Let's see. You know what they say, you could take some um so do you all believe so who do you all believe is responsible for the demise of Young Doll? The people that they have and the people that was around them. That's what I think. Hmm. Uh, y'all know I want to bring somebody on here to talk about wiretapping too. Yeah, wiretapping. Y'all know folks been tapping in on people on YouTube be tapping in on your phone. They hire hackers to tap in on your phone and listen to your conversations. That's how desperate they are on here. That's how thirsty they are. They be hiring people. Not only do they scam, but they hire people to tap in on your phones. I don't think they know, but some of them ain't nothing but a bunch of old criminals, scam artists, anyways. So I guess jail time don't mean shit to them. Letitia says people always got something to say. Rest in peace, Young Dog. CMG has a whole, as a whole, are responsible for Dog's assassination. Some of these people on here sick. I'm telling you, they sick. They sick. They running all kinds of scams. Y'all be surprised who in these scams. I'm telling y'all, y'all would be surprised who's in these scams. Okay, y'all would be surprised who's all a part of these scams on YouTube. These folks be wanting your attention so bad, it's ridiculous. I mean, some of them act like jilted lovers. Miss Roberta says saw Glock on the show doing a little interview. Oh, Glock been blazing. Glock been flat foot blazing. Beat boom boom says I have been doing some research on my true thoughts will be TM over the deaths of J Money and D Money and connection is thick between Trula Mafia, Pre and CMG. One thing I do know is they need youngster money bags to compete with Glock. Well, one thing we do know, okay, one thing that we do know is that hey, if they trying to put Black youngster up against Key Glock, I mean that hey, that's a no. I mean, he's not that. He's not that. He could never compete with Glock. Heard another one of new songs. Tried to drop Youngster with Glock. Yeah, yeah, Youngster and Key Glock don't compare. You know what I'm talking about? That's not, they don't compare at all. Yeah, Jay Fizzle is underrated. Jay Fizzle is blazing. Jay Fizzle is absolutely blazing off of the hook. I think he's underrated too. I think Fizzle is underrated too. They should have known there's definitely no comparison between the two, apples and oranges. They knew that Black Youngster couldn't compete with Key Glock. Youngster can't even touch a lint on Glock's sweater, garbage ass. Glock new album is off of the chain. Hmm. I got 99 problems. It's the ops ain't one. Glaucoma. Um, Teresa Kang says, I heard Key signed for 22 million. I don't know about that. I have not heard that. Rest in peace, Young Dolph is in here. Rest in peace, Young Dolph. Did Key Glock sign for 22 million? Because Key Glock said he's independent. Did he sign for 22 million? I don't believe it. A Black Youngster was dissing Dolph's in one of his songs. A Great Face says, I just wish Dolph had the chance to drop with all the artists to get them out there. Okay, he said he ain't signed. I just wish Dolph had the chance to drop with all the artists to get them out there more. But they holding on their own. That's so true. I kind of wish, well, not kind of wish. I wish that he had too. They knew Dolph was gonna take them. Dolph had already taken Key Glock up in a short amount of time. I think with the opportunity to work, with the others, I think with the opportunity to work with the others, um, he definitely would have. He was getting ready to take them all up. I think Dolph was getting ready to basically start a movement as far as like independence. And what I can't understand is why a lot of those other guys, why didn't they get with Dolph? Why didn't young Yo Gotti and them know how they was taken advantage of and things of that nature? Why didn't they jump on that bandwagon? Okay, why didn't they jump on that bandwagon with Dolph? You know what I'm saying? Because they still could have made some money. They still could have made money. Okay. Being independent, but I would have thought that they could have came together and started pushing that movement. Instead, they wanted to take him out because he learned the recipe, and they're because of their jealousy. I just kind of think that that's messed up. I don't understand the mentality. Okay. He said, nope, he ain't signed. I don't believe it either. I don't believe that either. Great Face says he trolled Moneybag a few months ago when he said on Twitter he thinking about signing. Great Face, that's what they waiting on for them to sign. Beat Boom Boom says, so how you explain the pick of Glock with Empire Dude and Daddy-O in the background if he didn't sign the deal? Somebody tell Youngster he straight flopped. Joy Loves God says Gotti wanted Dolph to be under him as though they couldn't be equal. Wow. Wow. A beat boom boom because Dolph Ben did that deal with Empire. So that might be the deal that they're talking about, because Dolph did have a distribution deal. And we do know that Dolph was getting what, like 80% or something like that. So, um, hey, let's look at that. Let's look at that. I was looking at Key Glock's page a few minutes ago. I was looking at his page. Key Glock is going up all the way up. Key Glock says, appreciate everyone who was a part of the masterpiece. This shit really smiled to a giant. I think I read this the other day though when I was on. He was in New York. Looked like he may be still in New York. And I mean, he doing the darn thing. He's on Esquire. Five fits with it, with Esquire X. I love it. I love seeing them win. I do. I love seeing them win because they took Young Dolph out in hopes that they would handicap his artist. And to consistently see them going up, it just makes me extremely proud of them. To consistently see them going up, okay? To consistently see them going up. So it's unfortunate that they took Dolph out, but they definitely could not stop the plan of God. And that was for them to consistently go up. That makes me extremely happy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Greyface says CMG at the soccer game with no youngster in sight. So do y'all think that they're running a play? Because remember, people had said that before about, when Dolph was first assassinated, people had said before, okay, that people had said before that they thought that Yo Gotti was cutting Black Youngster off. Now let me just say this. I do believe that when that first happened with Young Dolph, I believe that Gotti was putting Youngster up to do a lot of the stuff that he was doing, but at the same, or he was encouraging it, but at the same time, he kind of wanted to disassociate himself from it, but wanted him to do it, but wanted his hands to be clean. Okay. And so then you didn't really see Gotti around Youngster. But then when Snoop Bands actually said something, remember Snoop Bands added Gotti. And when Snoop Bands added Gotti, okay, when Snoop Bands added Gotti, I think Gotti put the battery in Black Youngster's back again. And remember, Black Youngster was being quiet, and then he started acting up again. It's like he always go get him to kind of like fight the beefs, to go in, right? So um I think it's to try and throw people off. Teresa Kane says people saying CMG turning against Black Youngster. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't think that they can turn against him because I think it would be suicide if they turn against. I would say he's a wild card. Okay, all the dirt that he's done for them, I think it would be suicide to turn against him. Do I think they want to distance themselves? Probably, but I think that youngster is still on CMG. I do. Just like Moneybag Yo pushes Bread Gang, I think he just trying to push whatever he got going. But I think that's prophecy though, Miss Teresa. If they haven't turned on each other, I think in the end they will turn on each other. I think in the end they will turn on each other. A Great Face says, what youngster is good is not a good look for CMG and Gotti know it, but he still supports because of loyalty to youngster. These dudes worried for their life and youngster self-incriminating on the album. Wow. Roberta Garland says, Glock dropped that 15 song album with no features. He had Great Face says he already hinting at CMG not being loyal. Wow. Beat Boom Boom says, I'm sure that Yo Gotti don't want these issues with a fool. Like I'm telling you, I think it would be suicidal at this point. Cause me personally, I don't think youngster is 100% with his mind at this point. I don't. I kind of don't think he's 100%, as far as mentally, but I don't think he ever was. But I think it's lower than what it was before now. I can't understand how folks get out here and do all this dirt. And I'm just talking about anybody. And then when they catch up with them, they start having mental breakdowns and things of that nature. Surely you got to know when you out here doing dirt, at some point it's going to catch up with you. I don't care who you are, what you do, the seeds that you sow in the ground, those are the seeds that's going to grow. The people that was involved in the assassination of young Dolph, rather it was those that did it, those that sat out there, in those other cars, I guess as a support and watched, and those that actually paid for it, and those, because it was people that knew, and did nothing. You have to reap what you sow. Those are the laws of the earth. You have to reap what you sow. So, um, I think what's so sad is for a lot of these little dudes that's having issues that are not in jail yet at this point. They're too immature to understand that a lot of the stuff that is going on with them is more than likely because they are reaping what they have sown. Okay? Because they're reaping what they've sown. That's it, that's all. Miss Roberta says that Glorilla almost got arrested behind her bodyguard or driver. Oh, wow. Wow. Greyface says them dudes probably at the point where family members being questioned. Beat Boom Boom says he's definitely in the no give a F mindset. Gotti may want to think about crossing him out. If he do it, it's gonna be secretly. If they cross him out, they'll probably, and I don't think he would. If he cross him out, see with somebody like Black Youngster, if somebody like Gotti decided to cross him out, I think it would be he would take him out because I don't. He knows that with him being such a wild card, it wouldn't be good to cross him out and let him live. You know, because he's gonna talk. He's gonna cause a lot of problems for them, more than what they already gonna face. She was doing this show with Cardi B. I don't know about the rappers, just learning about them now. That's something he may want to think about. Great face, the family members definitely do. Oh, wow. Miss T, Black Youngster's family has no influence on him to talk to him. You know, I don't know. I you know, y- mm, I don't know. You have to think about it. I think Black Youngster is he's probably I think he's in his 30s. He might be in his early to I believe he's in his early 30s. So you have to understand, like, hey, some people just, they worship money, and they worship money and whoever they think has opened the door for them to get it instead of God. So that's messed up. And I'm just saying in general, you know. Um Greyface says Youngster dissing CMG clearly on the album, and you got Gotti and Juke liking his posts. They scared of Youngster. Mm. Yeah, he's a lost soul, because like I said, just from what I can see, I think he kind of, uh, I don't know. Some people, it's hard to understand some people. It's hard to understand some people. It's hard to understand some people. And when I say that, I'm talking about as a whole, like the way that, like mentally sane people would think. Cause I go, dog, even with me, um, some things that I see, I go, my God, is that person out of their mind? Like, what would make a person think like that? What would make a person obsessive like that? But I mean, people are just different. I mean, I think you would probably, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I just think we're living in a time now where it's unfortunate that people are worshiping money. They're worshiping money, and they worship the people that they think can get them the money or is giving them the money. That's unfortunate because those are lost people. Those are lost people. You're right. And you could tell, like, if you looking at some of Black Youngster's older videos, and I'm not saying, that he was ever a good person, because I don't know him like that. But looking at some of his older videos, he seemed to have had a playful personality where he was goofy and kind of had people laughing and stuff. But if you look at anything that he has put out after Young Dolph was assassinated, it seems to be a darkness about him. Just looking at him, like his aura, like just looking at his pictures and stuff like that, looking at his videos. Um, it's a darkness that's about him, right? And regardless to, I think sometimes people do stuff and they don't want to admit that they're wrong, and you can't fix it, because what happened to Young Dolph can't be fixed, because he could never come back from the grave. And so rather than deal with what they did, and they know that it's wrong, they don't want to back up. Thank you, OG Ron, for the Cash App. They don't want to back up um on what they did. You know, they don't want to say, I was wrong or anything like that. So they just keep going. And so it would make you believe that Young Dolph really did something to him. I think that's how he psychs himself out. Dolph ain't did nothing to Black Youngster. I'm telling y'all, I was told, and I know that the yes, I saw the Aria collection. I think it's beautiful. I think what Mia J is doing with Aria is absolutely awesome. I'm gonna go look at that in a few minutes too, because I want to put it up here. Um, but I think Black Youngster want to make people think that Dolph actually did something to him. Dolph ain't did a damn thing to Black Youngster. I'm telling y'all, I've been saying that for the longest. He did not do anything to him. I think Black Youngster jumped his ass into something that had nothing to do with him trying to show his loyalty to Gotti. And now, I mean, he went too far. Because I'm telling y'all, Young Dolph and them didn't do nothing to Youngster. Let's see if Aria's collection is still up. Let's take a look at this. It makes me sad to see what they did to Young Dolph, and he loved his children and stuff. It was Aria's birthday, and she looks so much like her dad. She favors her mother too, but she looks a lot like her dad.
Why do daughters need fathers?
Because they love you. And because they love you just like you're a shining, beautiful star talking to them. Your face is shining, blowing kisses, giving chocolate baby smooches out. It's just all love.
And why do daughters need their fathers?
So we can enjoy life.
And why do daughters need their fathers?
So we can have a good time together.
Why else do daughters need fathers?
Because they need to live happily ever after with daughters.
I love it. Oh my God. She's 6 years old. Wow.
Or give her kissy. Listen with your ears. Or give her kissy.
Looking at that, it bothers me, and to hear some of the things that I've heard that some of these dudes, especially Black Youngster, have said about him and his death. Like I said, I think somebody like Black Youngster, and a person that told me they would know. They definitely have to reap what they sow. To sit up and hear Young Dolph's music, Black Youngster, and then sit up and say that rapping ass nigga ain't gonna make another hit. I bet you that nigga ain't gonna rap no more. That's sadistic. That's extremely sick. Okay. And so when stuff like this, and somebody told me that, and it wasn't none of his no, it wasn't nobody on the street either. Okay. So I've seen people come into my comments and say, well, Miss T, you assuming, you assuming because Black Youngster and Young Dolph was into it. I don't think I'm assuming. I'm not assuming anything. I think that what Black Youngster has done thus far has been absolutely tasteless. And as I've always said, I don't know Black Youngster personally, but I know I know some of his family members. And so I know that the ones that I know that there was a line of because there was a lot of tragedy from his family, even before he was ever even born, you know. And I know about the poverty in the areas that a lot of, to include himself, grew up in. But to carry that mindset and just that gutter mentality, um, after God has blessed you, is absolutely sadistic. And so seeing young Dolph with his children, and with his guards down and being able to be vulnerable with his kids and enjoy his children, being a constant presence in his kids' lives, and to hear people that are sadistic, okay, sit up and make for hey Nene, sit up and make fun of him is absolutely, just sick on so many levels. And so, I know people get mad at me when I go, hey, some of the same people, because as we talk about, Jeremiah Taylor, I don't know why Jeremiah Taylor is on my brain, not Jeremiah Taylor, but Tyre Nichols. But rest in peace to Jeremiah Taylor. I don't know why he's on my brain at this point right now. But with Tyrese Nichols, what happened to Tyrese Nichols was absolutely heinous in nature, right? What they did was wrong. But I see some of the same people who say that those officers need to be dealt with for what they did to Tyrese Nichols, and which they do. I hear some of the same people go as it relates to young Dolph. Well, that street shit. He knew what he was gonna get himself into, and we let them get away with that. Young Dolph was a father. He was a human being first, and we let people get away with doing that when Tyre and young Dolph were both human beings. Young Black, whoever was involved in doing this to young Dolph, they don't get no passes. Just because he was rapping, young Dolph was rapping to amass the wealth that he amassed, to be able to provide, to make a good living like he did, and leave a legacy behind for his children and become wealthy for his family. That's what comes along with rapping. He didn't get into it just for somebody to kill him. And so words are just words. People can say whatever they want to say. So you mean to tell me some of these same folks feel like it is okay that they took young Dolph out? You hear them dismiss it. Oh, well, that street stuff. Yeah, but young Dolph was a human being. Yeah, but he was rapping. He was in the rap game, man. If youngster them did it, they don't need to go to jail. And we let them get away with that. Hey, Richmond 36, Richmond 36. And we let them get away with that. So I'm happy that Mia is pushing, Black men and Black fathers deserve to grow old, because young Dolph deserved to grow old. Seeing him painting with his children, you see how vulnerable he was. You see how, like, he was able to let his guards down, and he was just like childlike, just like with his kids, enjoying his family, being a family man, right? And so it's a damn shame that a lot of our people got the mentality that if I'm jealous of you, I am going to assassinate you. Okay? That's the mentality of our people. And they want to trick us, a lot of us, into feeling like the way that they think as criminals is the way that it's supposed to be. And they get mad at somebody that's got a strong personality like me that say, kiss my ass. You're not going to get me to change. I said what I said. What you mean? No, the people that did that to Tyree, the officers that did that to Tyree, they have been charged. They ought to have their asses in jail, just like the people that did this to Young Dolph. Don't you agree? Yeah, because we hate the police, sis. Okay, well, you can hate the police. You might have a reason to hate them. I don't hate the police. Okay, I don't hate them. Oh, she don't hate the police. You got that motherfucking right. I sure don't. I don't like the ones that commit brutality, but the police as a whole, I know we need them. Because them same damn criminals that scamming and killing and setting folks up, being set up women and set up boys and rapists and shit like that. They want y'all to feel a certain way about the good police, as they say. Okay? They want y'all to feel a certain way about the good ones. Okay? That's right. They want y'all to. Okay? That's right. All cops are not bad. See, that's just like saying that all black people are lazy. Okay? I know damn well that all black people are not lazy. That's stereotyping black people. There's some bad apples in the bunch. We know that. Just like there are bad apples in the bunch with every race. I can't say that all white people are prejudiced because I don't believe that. I don't believe all white people are prejudiced. I just don't believe it because every human being is different. Okay? Every thug that you see on the corner is not bad. They hang out on the corner, but they ain't bad. They might be just hanging out. You ain't got to worry about every thug you see hanging on the corner, shooting the shit, snatching your purse up, because they're different. Every dude that's hanging out on that damn corner has a different personality and a different character. So just because he hanging out on the corner, I can't say, "Ooh, I don't want to walk by him. He hanging out on the corner because he gonna snatch my purse." That's not necessarily true. Okay. But a lot of these criminals, the same ones that's sitting up talking about, that the police officers that did this to Tyree need to be convicted, and they do need to be convicted now. Let's not get that twisted, because they do. Them niggas was wrong. They was thugs that just so happened to have badges. Okay? Let's not forget about those are that's the character of the person. Okay? But them same ones, I hear a lot of the same ones that say that when we started talking about Young Dolph, all that street shit right there. Now, that street shit, Dolph knew what he was getting into when he was rapping. And so, that's what happened in the street. So, whoever did it, they don't need to go to jail. Hey, Lucille. Hey, Lucille. I ain't seen you on here forever. I'm glad to see you. The devil is a lie. If Black Youngster and them asses had anything, I don't care how much money they putting out on the internet to some of these vloggers. If they had anything to do with this, they ass is gonna ride. And a police officer gonna ride them. Okay? Can't no citizen ride them. None of us can go get them and arrest them for justice and get justice for Young Dolph. It's gonna take a damn police officer or a federal agent. We can't take them and handcuff them and go put them in the jail cell if when they finish all this, when them indictments and stuff come down. Okay, it's gonna take them investigators downtown and them federal agents to go get them indictments signed when it's time. Okay, them warrants that's gonna come down. But the good police do that. Okay, It's the good ones, okay? And I'm looking forward to the good ones, okay? Arresting, getting justice in totality for young dogs. See, I know the good ones, okay? See, the ones that I work with, you know, they're what you call old heads and veterans now, because they've been on the department 15, 20, 25 years. A lot of these newer ones, they're what you call rookies. Okay. Like that Scorpion unit, I didn't know any of those officers because they're new. Okay, they just really came on. And when I was over there, they didn't even allow officers other than organized crime. Okay, they didn't even allow officers to get on specialized units that quick. They had to get the piss and vinegar out of them. That's what you call officers that are gun ho, want to arrest everybody. Those what you call the rookies. Okay, they want to run and chase everybody down because they're new on the job, and you know they're still full of piss and vinegar, right? But you know, Chief Davis kind of changed a lot of that. I think with Chief Davis, okay, Chief Davis came to Memphis, okay, and I don't know a whole lot about Chief Davis other than they wanted her here. The mayor single-handedly wanted her here for some odd reason when there were other people that was qualified when Chief Davis first came. Okay, I know for a fact that Memphis was in an uproar because they really wanted, if they wanted a woman, it was other women on the department that they could have gave it to that knew the city and all of that. But I know for a fact that people in Memphis wanted Sam Hines to have the job. I mean, it was a big uproar. I believe they did some protesting when Sam Hines didn't get that job. They did some protesting. Yeah, they did some protesting on her. Okay. Right. They should have veteran officers. You know what? You know, it makes me so when she came in, she changed a lot on that in the department. But in order for her to change, to make changes, it had to be approved by the mayor. Because she can't do nothing. Whatever she come up with, she can't do it unless he say it's okay. She have meetings with him every morning. Their senior staff meetings over there at City Hall, and whatever it is that she wants to do, she runs it by the damn mayor, and he approves it or he says no. Okay, so you know, people in Memphis know that she was not running nothing. That's the reason why they put her there, to just be a figurehead so that they could control her. We knew that. So that's why the majority of the Memphians are mad at the mayor. That's why they was knocking at his door. They was on top of his head more than it was hers, because they know who running it. It's him. It's okay. He's fine with hiding behind a black woman and letting her take all the blame when we know she have to do what he say do. Okay, that's how it's always been. That's why he put her there. That's why he didn't want Sam Hines there. Sam Hines is a military man that has always been outspoken. Okay, Sam Hines was not going to be agreeable, and he didn't want him there. Okay, he wanted somebody there, him and the other white power brokers that run the city of Memphis. They want her there. Now, what made them want her? Who recommended her? I don't know. Because Lucille, are you from around the Memphis area? Remember when they did the interviews, that lady did not even apply for the job. That's what was so weird. They did a national search. Remember? Hey, Tyranny, they did a national search, and she would not even apply for the damn job. If you live in Memphis, you know that, right? Okay, she didn't apply for the job. So they interviewed everybody and closed the process. When you close the process, that means the job is no longer open and nobody else can apply for the job. Okay, nobody else can apply for the job. So people was looking funny when after they closed the process up a couple weeks later, they decide they didn't open the process back up. They just decide, oh, this lady, what's CJ Davis? This lady named CJ Davis. We decide we're gonna interview her. So that everybody knew it was some mess in the game. Because they go, the process is closed. She didn't apply for the job or nothing. So why are they going to interview her when the job is closed now? And they interview all of these reputable people nationally that actually would have been good for the job. Because if he didn't choose Sam Hines, everybody thought he was going to choose Sam Hines. Sam Hines is a bald, nice looking black man. Okay. He didn't want Sam for some reason. Everybody was so disappointed. They was all down there, in front of City Hall with their signs and stuff up. A lot of Memphians took that personally, that he would not promote Sam Hines, who had the most experience, was already a chief. Okay. And was definitely qualified for the position. People was devastated. He had to go pay them preachers off, because the preachers, you saw some of them preachers who he be giving them grants to, they started to rise up a little bit. I said, oh, some of these preachers gonna have a backbone, because they normally don't have. They be jelly back because they be getting them grants. They was even mad that he didn't choose Sam Hines. Okay, he gave him another grant. They went ahead and bowed on down. Oh yeah, she be a good black woman. He gave him another grant, child. They hurry up and shut up. Okay. But that's how that went. So, that's why a lot of the Memphians, anything that goes on, see the people, the outside world, put it at the feet of CJ Davis, because they actually think that CJ Davis run the Memphis Police Department. Okay. People on the outside think that CJ Davis run the police department, but people on the inside of Memphis know who running it and hiding behind CJ Davis, and that's the city mayor. Okay, that's the city mayor. Okay. Jim Strickland didn't do Tony Armstrong right, and I love Tony Armstrong so much. Okay. I love Tony so much. Tony was a good man. Jim Strickland, Tony Armstrong had a backbone. And Jim Strickland was extremely disrespectful to Tony Armstrong. He was so disrespectful to him. So he didn't want to unappoint him, because Tony Armstrong, the Memphians loved Tony Armstrong. He had a good relationship with the people in Memphis. Yes, he would have been great. So Strickland didn't want to unappoint him, because he didn't want to piss the Memphians off. So he treated him like dirt and was disrespectful to him until he left. He forced him to leave. Because Tony had ideas. He knew the city. He had been there forever. He couldn't really tell Tony what to do. Mike was good. Okay, Mike was good, but he didn't let Mike do a lot of the stuff that Mike had wanted to do, Michael Rollins. But Mike was not a jellyback. So when Mike left, I guess he said, I'm damn all that. I don't want no pushbacks. He knows she don't know nothing about the city of Memphis, because she don't. She knows nothing about Memphis. Okay? Bless her little heart, she don't. She knows nothing about the city of Memphis. So she's going to follow his lead 100%. And that's the reason why folks been on top of his damn head, because everybody already knows, okay, that she do whatever he say do. She ain't making no decisions. That's the reason why he put her there. Okay. So now Jim Strickland is getting ready to go. Okay. He's getting ready to go. His term is up in August. Right. And so when he leaves, she's gonna be gone right with him, because the new mayor that comes in, guess what they're gonna do? They're going to bring in their very own administration. And bringing in their very own administration, okay, is bringing in a new police chief. Is bringing in a new police chief. Thank you, Beat Boom Boom, for the $5 super sticker. That's what's gonna happen. So, the elections is in August, okay, and the new mayor would take position next January, and he'll appoint a new police chief, and it's probably going to be somebody within the city of Memphis. It's not going to be her. It's going to be somebody that's already here. It's probably going to be Sam Hines if he's still there, because that's who I'm looking at. All of the people that's in the city mayor's race, those were a lot of the people that were already in government that wanted for Sam Hines to have that job. They're not going to be able to put no leash on Sam Hines, because he was always off the chain. They're not going to be able to do that. Now the mayor can't run no more. He going to go back on over to his law firm, child. He going right on back over there to that law firm and be a lawyer. I'm telling you, they said it's like 17 people in the city race. How in the hell 17 people get into a race? I just don't understand our people. I don't understand our people. Yeah, you need to run. You may as well get in there, Lucia. Everybody else in there. You may as well go ahead and get your name in the hat. There's a Ford too, and we definitely. Oh Lord, it's a Ford that got in the race. Oh Lord, have mercy. I tell you, we probably, what's going to end up happening is we're going to have another white mayor, because all of the Democratic people get into the race because they get paid to get into the race and split up the votes. And then what end up happening is, Republicans don't do that. They don't get into the race, put a whole lot of people in the race. They choose one person and support and get behind that one person. They're more organized, right? And all these cuckabug heads that's in this race, 17 damn people, ought to be ashamed of themselves, because a lot of them is paid off. So they're going to get into they don't split the votes up, and the white man going to win. That's all. The white Republican going to win. That's all. And a lot of these cuckabug heads that's in the race, they've been paid to get into the race to split up the votes. Don't get me started, because y'all know when I start thinking about what these people doing, it pisses me off. I don't understand why the Black Democrats can't get together and decide on a viable candidate running, but they so quick to take a damn nickel. I give you $1,000 if you get in the race. They be doing it for $250. Just anything. Ain't got no money, no nothing. Okay. All three parties have bad apples, that's for sure. That's right, Kevin. He says, yep, split the vote 1-on-1 instead of coming together and choosing the best candidate for us. Then back that right. That's something that Democratic candidates don't do. Hell, they be letting the Republicans pay them off. You get in that race and split the vote up. How much you give me, sir? I'll give you $1,000. Oh, yes, sir. And then be sitting up in the front of the race. I wants to get in to help the black people, sis. And they already be in government. They already be over there at the city council and stuff. They already be selling us out. Thank you, Miss Paula. Tyranny. Lord have mercy. Mm. Oh, I still, you know what? I still got your. Don't go buy none because I'm gonna send it off. I'm gonna go to FedEx tomorrow and send off your sweet bitch. I promise. I still got it. Lord knows I do. I done wrapped it up so many times it can't break. Tyranny, you know, Prince Mongo done ran so many times. It's ridiculous. Is Prince Mongo still alive? Remember Prince Mongo used to run every time. Is he still living? Because I ain't seen him on the ballot in a long time. Is Prince Mongo still alive? Remember, he used to jump on every race. Is he still alive? Shelby said he's still alive. He's still alive, y'all. He must have been got too old. Because remember, he used to get on every ballot. He used to always run, especially for mayor. Prince Mongo knew he couldn't win, but he showed put his name and could debate. He would debate. He sound like a fool, but he sure would debate. I guess Prince Mongo said ain't no need of him getting in the race no more. They already got enough fools getting in the race. Zen Memorial Service says he live in Florida. he done moved to Florida. Lord have mercy. Yeah, they say he's rich. He would always get on the ballot. Hair looked like his hair and stuff had not been combed or nothing. See, that's how that's how you know folks he got that long money because he wouldn't even comb his damn head. You never would have known he was rich. I'm gonna see if I can pull Prince Mongo up. Prince Mongo used to hold on. I guess he said he just got tired. Prince Mongo didn't have nothing else to do. Hold on. Y'all, this him. Y'all, this him. Y'all know Prince Mongo look like a fool. Look at his hair. Ciao.
He changed history once.
Well, Mongo had definitely, arguably, an effect on the 1991 mayor's race when Mayor Harrington beat Dick Hackett by 143 votes, and Mongo got well over 2,000 votes.
Mongo claims he's from the planet Zambodia. Sometimes he wears a wig and goggles in public. The job of Prince must pay well because we're told he owns 3 houses in Memphis, including this one in the Berclair neighborhood.
Do you need to talk to him?
Yeah, is he around or is he stuck on a board?
He's here. I can give him a call and see if I can get him.
Good, that'd be great. He called, Mongo did. He has a message. The city made a mistake taking down the Confederate statues, he says. He's serious about running and says he's serious about winning. You think you're going to be out there campaigning wearing your wig and goggles again?
Yeah, y'all, that's Prince Mongo. He got tired. Lord have mercy. They say he still got a mansion over there off of Lamar and Central. Yeah, he was mad about them taking down that Confederate statue. He was mad about that. I guess he said he done ran enough in Memphis. He done gone on and retired in Florida. I bet you he still got his houses. He probably rent them out. Beep Boom Boom says, what the hell did I just witness? The craziness that goes on with politics in the city of Memphis. It's a darn shame. It's a darn shame. Tierney says, I remember back in the day, I used to party so hard at his mansion over there on Lamar. She used to party hard over there. Thank you, Demopublican. I receive that in Jesus' name. Speak it into the atmosphere. He would have all them gangsters locked up and on death row. I'm telling you. Well, it's always a freak show when it comes to the elections. Because to hear that about 17 people is in the mayor's race for Memphis is absolutely insane. And it's not on it's on the Democratic side. So why couldn't the Democrats sit down? Mayor Harrington is running. We still call him Mayor Harrington, but Willie Harrington is running. And I think I'm gonna vote for Willie Harrington. What y'all think? Do y'all think that Willie Harrington should win? Lucille says she don't want Harrington to be back in there. Because a lot of some of the people that are already like in city council, on county commissioner that's running, they ain't did nothing. But I mean, I can't vote in Memphis at this point anyway. I be forgetting. But Sherman said he needs to sit his ass down. I think Mayor Harrington in his 80s. Yeah, but wasn't crime down in the city of Memphis when Harrington was in office? Wasn't crime down when Harrington was in office? And he made them recruit good police officers. He made sure that they recruited good officers. Like he had the bar was up high. They couldn't just bring on anybody. He never allowed them to drop the criteria, I don't believe. We don't need any more figureheads. Jeff says Sam Hines is his frat brother. So, Jeff, do you think Sam would be a good police chief? Harrington had folks in check, but it's a new day and time. Yeah, it is. It's a new day and time. But definitely need a mayor that's going to restore order as far as crime. But in order for that to happen too, Tennessee is going to have to start looking at the lawmakers. The police enforce the laws. That's the problem. The police can only enforce what the laws already are. These lawmakers are making the laws less stringent for criminals. That's what's going on. So I think we need we got to start paying attention to the congressmen, the Congress race, the senators, the governors, these people that actually can change laws and things of that nature. And I'm serious, for a city or a state or whatever. Letitia said, how old is Biden? How old is Biden? About 86? I don't know. Lucille said Moro is a joke. Well, they say Amy was too, Lucille. But the problem is a lot of that juvenile court judge, and I like Tarek Sugarman. But you know, when you have these juveniles out here committing heinous acts and killing people, you know, when you start talking about, well, we don't need to put them in jail, we just need to, it needs to be some rehabilitation. You know, the victim's family members don't want to hear that. We're gonna give them some help and some counseling. After you done kill their loved ones, they don't give a damn about the perpetrator getting no counseling. They want some retribution. I think that's gonna hurt Judge Sugarman. As much as I like him, that's going to hurt him. Get them some help while they in jail. He want to let them out and put ankle monitors on them after they've killed somebody's mama. We let them out and make them go to counseling and make them go to classes. No, they can do that on the inside. Okay, because even though they're young and traumatized now, they know what they did. Tierney says the crime was down, but that was a different era. Yeah, it was a different era. It was a different time. What happened? Yeah, because right, because the young man that he let out with the ankle monitor when he killed, right, making them think it's okay to kill. They let that young man out, and after he killed that minister, that was somebody's mother, that was somebody's family member. That little Hispanic guy, I think he was 17? He's 17, right? 16 or 17. Hell, they say he had an ankle monitor on when he shot her. So what did Judge Sugarman think that was going to do if he already had on an ankle monitor when he went and killed that lady in her yard trying to take her car? Yes, Tennessee needs a new governor for real. I don't understand how that man keep getting reelected. Okay. I don't know how he keeps getting reelected. Okay, Joe Biden is 80. They sending them back out to do the same thing or get they self unalive. That's true. But you let somebody out talking about you putting an ankle monitor on them when he had an ankle monitor when he killed that minister. He already had an ankle monitor on. So what good did that do? Okay. Dr. Harrington is 83, almost 83. It's not just Memphis, everywhere, because people don't vote for our Congress and senators. You're right. People don't even pay attention to those races, and those are the most important races as it relates to a state. Beat Boom Boom says Missouri AG is fighting for her job now because all the criminals she continues to let out on bond committing more crimes. Wow. You know what? I was reading how bad it was down there in Missouri. I think St. Louis, Missouri is number one, like the murder capital. They to put a be good device in their head. I tried to tell y'all about the new bail system. Wow. Yeah, you did, Jeff. You did. Beat Boom Boom says it is. I'm in Kansas City. I have family in Kansas City. They always talk about how bad it is in Kansas City. I got family in Kansas City, Kansas, and family in Kansas City, Missouri. And they say both of them off the chain. Letitia Wing says, yes, if we could focus more on those races, our children and grandchildren might have a better life. Lucy says, yes, that cashless bail mess. I can't understand. I don't know what's going on with people because, I hear folks say it's a whole lot of jobs out there. Don't nobody want to work. That's what they say. I don't know. But I think it's got a lot to do with people, more and more people getting on drugs. That's what I think. That's what I think. More and more people are getting on drugs. Hey, Fox. Oh, let me put this in. You guys, make sure y'all hit the like button if y'all haven't hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Oh, Andre. Okay, Ricardo. Teresa Kane says, here in Texas, they're begging people to work. That's what they say. They say they're begging. They say the jobs are plentiful, but then you hear a lot of people say that the jobs are not plentiful. So I don't know, but I think the reason that a lot of this crime, I think more, so many, especially young adults, they're on pills and stuff. I think that's what's going on. They're on pills and all that old crazy stuff. It's terrible out here everywhere. Politics needs to change. These YouTube, these YT, no, they are in trouble if we continue to stand and rise against their agenda. I pray our people start working up to what's going. So do I. I definitely do too. I pray the city calls me back, Miss Tam. Pull some strings for me. What? Okay. What area did you work in? I'll let you know if I could pull some string. What area did you work in for the city? I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart because I've been fighting a drug problem with codeine, and it's the only thing that makes me feel good. And I couldn't stop using it for the last 2 months. And you posted something saying, in order to heal, you have to stop. Oh, wow. I'm so happy. I always post inspirational stuff, Andre, because I always post inspirational stuff because I know that we all basically go through some of the same stuff, and that's the God's truth. Like, I mean, we all go we all go through the same things at different times. I've never abused any drug or anything like that, but I think that we've all had some situations in our lives that caused us a whole lot of pain. And I'm serious. So many people go through a lot. So many people go through a lot. And I get to thinking about, I had to like reevaluate a lot of stuff because I was like, dog, sometimes I get on here. And my mother had to tell me too. She was like, you get on there, you get angry, you start screaming and fussing. And I know some of my people know how I am when I get passionate. She's like, but sometimes people get on there, for you to inspire them, just like you was doing before. Keep posting your inspirational stuff. You know what I mean? And it's more people that look at this stuff than I would ever know. Because my mom said that one of my aunts saw, that's right, Andre, you got this. Andre got this. I told Andre I had wanted to fix him up with my little cousin. He's very handsome. Andre real cute now, y'all. And one of my aunts had clicked on here. And I know Jeff Lee be telling me all the time, Miss T, you need to stop cussing. But we all have passion. Sometimes I can't hold it. But my mama has said that one of my aunties, like my auntie is in her 70s. She's actually my mother's auntie. Was just on Facebook, and I was streaming from Facebook, and she clicked on. She was like, I logged in and I heard her. I was like, oh my God, my great aunts be looking at this, so I really have to be careful too. My pastor be logging in here. My pastor called me today, and he was like, you gonna be at church tomorrow? Because I've been feeling you in my spirit, and I promise you, even though like I was out shopping and doing some things that I wanted to do today, I was a little stressed today. Anything man-made is dangerous today. Shaking my head. I was a little stressed today. So it's good when you have people that can feel spiritually, they obey God and call you and say, you need to come to church. Because I had said too, I need to go to church Sunday because I need to go to the altar and pray. I don't know about most people handle things differently. I just know when I go into prayer, it helps me to keep calm. Prayer just does it for me. Right. And I had said, a lot of times, like I used to like to, as far as my mother, because my mother is a praying warrior. She has always been a praying warrior. Okay. And I know for me, whenever I was like I would go, I need for my mother, like I'm like most people do. I got this going on. I know my mother is going to be able to pray me out of this. Right. But I remember my mom said to me one time, she was like, I always pray for you because you're my daughter. I always have prayed for you. But you're going to have to develop a relationship with God for yourself. Because what happens when I ain't here no more? Okay. What happens when I'm not here? I used to just always just because I knew that I know the type of relationship that my mother has always had with God. So I was like, I know my mother is a praying warrior. So my mama got me, she got me. But we have to learn to kind of have that relationship. And like my mother said, like the relationship that I had with God, it came from fasting and meditating and praying. You're going to have to break yourself down and do the same thing, because just like I pray for you and your sister, you got 2 daughters. You're going to have to get that relationship with God so that you can go to God for yourself and for your 2 daughters also. I'm going to church tomorrow for the first time in like 15 years. I'm concerned about all the singing and dancing. Well, you don't have to do the singing and dancing. All you have to do, Andre, is just make sure you go to church, take your Bible, and when you're there, ask God to have the preacher to give you a word. Okay, to give you a word. You don't even have to say anything. Something that's going to be helpful to you, that'll carry you until the next week. A lot of people go to church because whatever it is that the preacher is preaching, it helps to carry them through that week. And then when you leave, if you don't have an understanding, start reading your Bible yourself. Okay, start reading your Bible yourself and asking God to give you an understanding, Andre, of the Bible for yourself. I know for me, each and every time that I read, even like I love the book of James and I love the book of Daniel. And each and every time I read the book of James and I read the book of Daniel, God gives me a different understanding each and every time. It's always. Just ask for understanding. I tell my kids the same thing, because when my mom died, I was lost, but I still knew God, and that's what held me together. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tierney says, I got a $1,900 light bill from MLGW today. It's about to make me pop some damn $1,900. Oh my God. How in the world of Tierney, how you get a $1,900 light bill? Is it right? That couldn't be right. How you get a $1,900 light bill for residential? I used to do that with my mom and then got rid of the fear. God is faithful. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I was talking to my mother earlier about something, that's had me troubled, that I'm outside of YouTube. And she was like, gave me some scriptures to meditate on. It's good to have scriptures to meditate on too. I promise you. One of the scriptures that my mother gave me, she reminded me of, was Psalms 91:1. And she calls that Psalms 9:1. Psalms 91:1. I'm telling you, that is a good scripture to meditate on. I said that certain days of the week I'm gonna start doing some fasting, because it's something that I want. It's something that I want to do, and it's got me a little troubled. I think I'm just a little fearful. Anytime you're thinking about going to another level in something, it's kind of fearful when you feel safe. But I'm definitely gonna start meditating on those scriptures for God to give me an answer on if it's time to move, because God always wants you to elevate, but you just have to do it at the right time. Letitia says, I love the book of Job. That's where I got my strength in Psalms. Wow. I love the book of Job too. I love the book of Job too. I love Habakkuk too. Write the vision down and make it plain. Although the vision may tarry, it shall surely come. Tarry, it shall surely come. The vision is always for an appointed time. And I know that anytime something has been for me, it always just fall right in my lap. Whenever there's some type of opposition, it's usually because I don't know when it's. I always say if it's not for me, I done got whooped so bad by God for kicking open doors, trying to prove to somebody, hey, you think you're gonna close the door in my face? I'm gonna kick it open, and then I ended up going through doors that I was never supposed to go through, and God ended up whooping me cat raggedy. So now my prayer is, God, if it be your will, allow it to happen. If it's not for me, close the doors, lock the windows, do it. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't care how bad I may want it in the flesh. If it's not for me, I do not want it, period. That's right. Jeff Lee, that's called standing in the gap. And most good mothers and loved ones always stand in the gap. Always stand in the gap and pray. Lucia says Deuteronomy 28:6 says you will be blessed when you come in and blessed going out. Absolutely. Like I know how good God is. Like a lot of people don't know. Back in 2012, I had an aneurysm. Back in 2012, I had an aneurysm. I was in the hospital for weeks. I had an aneurysm. And I ended up going to the hospital because my eyesight started getting blurry. I didn't even know I had an aneurysm. I just know that my eyesight started getting blurry, and my mom thought that it was like my blood pressure. So I ended up just going to my regular doctor, and my mother had gone with me. And when we got there, he immediately was like, your eyesight should not be blurry. Because I told him, I said, my eyesight, I can't hardly even read nothing because I can't see. And he was like, no, that's not normal. So he immediately sent me to the hospital. And he was like, I want to send you to the hospital ASAP. And I had to leave the doctor's office going to the hospital. And once I got to the hospital, I remember I was just boo-hooing and crying because they was like, oh no, we're gonna have to check you in. I did not want to be at the hospital. I did not want to stay. And they started running MRIs and CAT scans and stuff on me. And by that time, like I couldn't hardly see anything. Like I had people from at the time I was going to Pastor Diane and Pastor Young's church, the Healing Center. And I had a lot of the people from the church coming out there to the hospital. And they knew about that time. I remember Tracy. Is Shelvin still in here? I remember Tracy came out. He remembers Tracy. Tracy came out to the hospital, and they had a menu, I guess because we had that good old insurance. I was working for the sheriff's office at that time. So they brought a menu in of what I couldn't read the menu. And so when we talk about that now. She was like, you remember how God, delivered you? Like you was in the hospital, like you couldn't even see. I could not even see. And so anyways, I was there at the hospital for a while, and they were supposed to do this process on my head called, I was there for a couple weeks, and then they ended up releasing me. And they was like, we're going to send you over to this hospital called St. Francis, where this brain specialist is. And, they was doing some more tests and stuff on me. Y'all, this is how good God is. And so I remember Pastor Young and them, he just passed away a few months ago, rest his soul. They was praying for me and stuff. And I remember when I was supposed to go back over to St. Francis, they were supposed to do this process on me, on my brain, called a coiling process. And the coiling process is when they go up through they take wire and they go up through your groin, and they take blue dye and put the blue dye up there, and they take this wire and coil the aneurysm. It's called, like I said, the coiling process. And so one of the side effects was I could have had a stroke on it was very risky. I could have had a stroke on the table or whatever. So of course, y'all know my mother, she tore it up. My mama, she was fasting every day. It was certain times that she would not eat. I mean, she was just tearing it up in the spiritual realm. And so she was like, I really don't want you to have that process. But the neuro doctor was like, you're too young. And if you don't have this coiling process, you could easily, it might come back to haunt you. But I'm gonna tell you how good God is. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. They prepped me, they got me ready. I was going to the doctors and stuff. So like about 2 weeks after getting out, I went back for my coiling process. I think I've always said that I've been gifted in dreams, and like I still have the CD of the aneurysm, because a lot of people go, well, did they make a mistake? I said no, because I got the proof of the MRI showing the aneurysm that I originally had, right? And because people say they believe in God, but I don't think they really do, right? Because when you start talking about the miracles of God and how he truly is a healer, it's hard for people to believe that. So I remember, because I've always been gifted in dreams, my grandmother had just died a year before. And so when I went that morning, I had to go for my process at 5 that morning. I had a dream about my grandmother the night before. And I remember in that dream, she always wore a duster. She was sitting out in the waiting room at the hospital as they was pushing me to the back. And this was in my dream. And she never said anything to me. She was just in the waiting room, just rocking. And I was like, as they was pushing me on, to the back for my process, I said to myself, that's mama. In my dream, I could see her. So anyways, like the next day, my mother and I was there at 5 a.m. for my process. This is how good God is. The doctors rolled me back there. They put they told me, they went over the process again. And they put the blue dye, of course, up me. They went up through my groin and they shoot the blue dye up there. And so I saw them looking at this, I guess at the monitors and stuff. So they walked out, they came back in, and the doctor said to me, well, we wanted to do the process this morning. He said, but we don't see no aneurysm. He said, I don't know what's going on, but we don't see it anymore. And so he was like, we can't do the process this morning because we don't have anything to coil because we don't see it. And so he was like, what, I'm going to send you back to your regular neuro doctor. And what we'll do is just to make sure we didn't make no mistakes. Because remember, I had been in the hospital for 2 weeks. He was like, we're going to send you to another specialist, because I just don't see it to do the coiling process. Okay. So then, my doctor, my original neuro doctor was scared. He was like, of course, you was in the hospital. There was an aneurysm. You know what I mean? But I said all that to say this: God is a healer. And so a lot of times, like when I go through some stuff, my mother have to take me back to that. Remember when God healed you before? I mean, when I went back to church at the healing center, my pastors at that time, they had me to come to the front of the church to give my testimony. I mean, people was just falling out in the church. I mean, it was such a praise report, because I couldn't see or nothing. I actually had an aneurysm, but God is a healer. Okay, God is definitely a healer. That's the reason why, like my mom, when she go, you remember, when the devil tried to do this, remember when the devil tried to do that? We don't let that get us off a track, because God brought you from something that serious. We don't get off track for anything else. So it's always good to have a praying mother and stuff, people that truly care about you, that truly pray for you, that's around you. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. The Bible says where 2 or 3 agree, he would be in the midst. I had a lot of people that truly cared about me that was in agreement. And even the doctors was like, you go back for a process and they can't even do the procedure because they can't find it after I had been in the hospital for 2 weeks. So that's the reason why I post a lot of, inspirational stuff. Because I know all of us go through the same things, just different people. Right. You can't lose faith. You have to keep your eye. You have to always keep your eye on the prize. My pastor used to always say, the devil does not come to rob empty houses. So if you see yourself being attacked by an enemy, it is because you're loaded with talents and gifts and things of that nature. Because the enemy does not come and try and destroy empty things. The enemy don't rob empty houses. So you just have to know what kind of vessel you are, how blessed you are, and the types of gifts and things of that nature that you carry on the inside of you. Don't allow the enemy to ever get you out of character. Once a person gets you out of character, they are in control. You cannot allow that. Jeff says, amen to that. I was in a coma 17 days after the stroke. 4 years later, I survived brain surgery. God is real. God is absolutely real. I take time to thank God every day. Focus on the promises of God. Amen. And I know that a lot of people have issues, like as far as they're dealing with alcohol. A lot of people are alcoholics. People don't, a lot of people going through so much now, they're turning to the bottle. And a lot of people are on some type of paraphernalia. So it's a lot of people that's suffering, it's a lot of people that's suffering. And so I always pray for people that have addictions, because it don't mean that they're bad people. Some people just try something one time, and after they try it one time, they are completely addicted. They are completely addicted. That's unfortunate. It don't make them bad people. They're just addicted. You guys, make sure y'all hit the like button, please. Please and thank you. Let me see how many likes we got. Hold on, you guys. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button if you haven't. Oh, you're talking about on Newski? You know what? I was looking at Newski's page, and I know they had said that Newski was going to be okay. I know Woo has, Woo is doing just fine, but it looks like Newski had been putting up some stuff. I was looking at his story the other day. I believe it might have been yesterday. And if that story is, unless it was a video that he already had, he's doing just fine. Let me see. Hold on, let me see. He's still posting. Let me see. Oh, wow. This is what they posted on Newski's page. Let me show you. Let me read it to you guys. It says, can't wait till at Paper Route Newski get well. We outside with these switches and chops, getting active on anything that ever played. So I guess he's still recovering. Okay, rest in peace, Young Dog said he's not home yet. He's not home yet, but he's good though. He's just still in the hospital. Mm-hmm. Lucia says, Al Green, everything's going to be all right. It's one of my favorite songs when I'm going through something. My dad used to play it before church as a child. Wow. Letitia Wing says, Woo child, I'm in court with my cousin's son because she died and can't be. It's a lot, but I'm praying for the best and preparing for my heart for the worst because he got himself in a jam. That's why I don't like it when you cuss. It's biblical. Yeah. I love that song, Demo. Whose song is that? Key Glock song, Demo? Yeah, we're praying for your cousin. He got shot. Newski got shot. Rest in peace, Young Dog. Was Newski and them, was they hanging out up there at the gas station, or was they going into the gas station? What happened? Oh, new MC Hammer song, Pray. Okay. Tierney says, Wu was hanging out the other day when I rode through Magnolia. Oh yeah, MC Hammer song, Pray. I hope these dudes stay clear of anything that would take them off the path. Yeah, I think Wu and them, they can't just hang out like that because they sending, these dudes getting on pills and stuff, and they telling them, they gassing them up. They putting them on pills and telling them to go over to Castelia and shoot up Castelia. So, you know, that's a darn shame. Is rest in peace, Young Dolph still in here? Rest in peace, Young Dolph. Was Wu and them hanging out at the gas station, or how did that go? I feel like falling in love. Yeah, I kept hearing that song yesterday, and I posted that on my picture. That Beyonce song, I feel like falling in love. I kept hearing it, listening to that song yesterday. That's the reason why I posted that. I feel like falling in love. It was, actually just because I was listening to the song. God's will, Lucia, not mine. I remember when Dow said that the neighborhood wouldn't allow apartment security to stay around. Tierney says she likes Key Glock's song, Ratchet. Letitia. Letitia is a trip. She said, I seen that post. Oh my goodness. It's been rainy and cold all day today. Now somebody asked me if they could take me to dinner. I didn't want to do nothing today. Not as far as it's tonight. But guess what they asked me if they could take me to dinner to tomorrow. Y'all not gonna believe this. Guess what restaurant somebody asked me if they could take me on a date to tomorrow? They was there getting stuff and the boys rode past shooting, that Dolph Land corner store. I'm the opening, so they just did a shoot and run. Wow. No, Privé. I said, absolutely not. I said, no, I don't. Big Juke could never get to poison me. I can't. I don't go to Privé. I can't stand them people's. Rest in peace, young dog. I don't even know them. Joy Loves God says Wendy's. No, thank you. No Privé. No thanks. That's right. Rest in peace, young dog. If they don't. For all I know, they might be, in cahoots with them trying to get my location or something. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button. Ooh. Y'all, if y'all haven't hit the like button, hit the like button for me. I need 15 more likes. I need 15 more likes. That's right. I'm telling you, I have to stretch a nigga. I have to stretch him for real. Because I come with the peace. So I can have peace. That's right. Sometimes I think I need to date like nowhere around the South at all. Because I'm telling you, around the Memphis area, it's like 3 or 4 women to one man, and they be fighting over them, and and hell, they be my age. They sitting up over here fighting over me. I would never fight over a man, not even my husband. I'm just, I just know how to do that. Okay, I know what to do on that. If I ever get married, my husband cheat on me. I'm telling you, I know how to handle that. Cause when I divorce him, he gonna have to start all over again for real. Cause he gonna leave up out of that with nothing. Let him and his chick start from scratch. I'm telling y'all, I know how to do that now. We do that every day. I have to get back to traveling. Bay Area men are really. The Republican says one lady would be enough. That's right. If you have a good husband, you won't have to fight. He's not going to put you in a position to ever question anything. I'm telling you, these women and a lot of women, somebody was telling me that they was at a restaurant and there was this man that was sitting there with 2 girls. this white guy looked like he was in his 40s, and he was sitting there with two black girls that looked like they was in their 20s. And he said that they were nice looking girls, and they were both sitting there at the table with him, and then all of a sudden both of them just started kissing him in the mouth at a restaurant. Ain't that something? These folks have flat foot gone crazy. I guess they into swinging and into threesomes and stuff like that. See, I don't get down like that. My husband, you know, it's certain things that triggers me. But I just don't believe that a man, especially if he knows he's gonna know me very well, he would know better than to ask me anything about threesomes or swinging, because that's gonna trigger me. That's gonna set me off. He won't be able to rest no more. Because if I ain't happy, ain't nobody in that house gonna be happy. And I'm not going to be happy for a long time if he asks me something like that, which means he could look for hell for a long time. I never wanted to be married, sisters, but more women are accepting that though. Why? I don't know. I don't know why they accepting it. My ex-husband cheated and then asked me, "Ain't you going to fight for your man?" I said, "Hell no. Them hoes can have you," and I put him out and never look back. That's how you have to do it. Move on. Relinquish all access to you. Miss Tierney said your voodoo game strong. Well, now, Miss Tierney, I don't mean no harm, but now we don't do the voodoo over here. We believes in God. Okay, we let God, do the work. I don't try to help God. Lucia says mine too, Tierney. I'm gonna tell y'all something. When you start, because I had a friend who but I guess everybody have different religions. But you know what? I had a friend who was living with her baby's father, okay? And he was driving her so crazy. He was driving her so crazy to the point that she said, "Girl, I be thinking about when I'm cooking, I be thinking about putting laxatives in his food." I said, "It's time to let him go on. It's time to let him go on back down there to the damn backwoods." Because see, he was from down there in Clarksdale, Mississippi, from the backwoods. I said, before you do that, just go ahead, let him go on back down there to the trailer park. And you ain't even got to put no laxatives in this damn food. Because when you start thinking about that, that means he done stress you out too bad. Neil says a man should always have his valuables in a spot where it's protected by other family and never known to others just because. Some men want that drama. I'm not the one. Yeah, I don't want no drama. I dealing with unfaithfulness. Some women do. They'll stay in it forever because they want to say that I won, but it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Teresa says, once a cheater, always a cheater. Sure he is. Now, ain't that the God's truth? They don't change. I'm telling y'all, they don't change. You might as well go and get you another man, or unless you're gonna deal with it, because they don't change. Now, I'm telling you, they don't. They get slicker. They'll cry and slob and spit and know they be telling lies. Just a bunch of liars. Yeah, I'm ready for a trip. I'm gonna take me one too. I was sitting here looking at this man. He was looking handsome until I saw him in them pink pants. I can't deal with no man in no pink. I don't know what's going on today. But I can't it ain't nothing attractive about no man wearing no pink. Me neither, JLG. My second husband is a Jim. Been with him 30 years. Wow, that's so awesome. I've changed a lot and made plenty of mistakes, and I've always made sure that there's no animosity with any of my exes towards me for the past. My daughter and I were talking about the men available to date. She said I date, but as soon as they say 50-50, she said, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna go on a date with a man and pay for my own dinner. I can go sit by myself and eat by myself. I'm not gonna, a lot of these folks doing it though. It's income tax season too, y'all. These women, you know what? When you go in these restaurants, you see everybody booed up. I was like, dog, get so many people booed up. But now I know why they are booed up. It is because it's income tax season. These men is hanging around these women getting their money. Oh my God. A Christian says he's going to Paris next week. Oh God. Paris. I want to go to Paris so bad. Weekend before last, this guy I went out with spent $400 and I blocked him 2 days later because he said something disrespectful. Wow. Most real men don't want no woman spending no money on them. They don't want to eat off no woman, and they don't want no woman, maybe like birthdays or something like that. Get him a gift. But as far as wanting a woman to provide for him, real men don't want that. It makes them feel like less than a man. But a lot of these men do want it because they already feel like women. Okay, they already feminine. They are already feminine. Y'all. Jeff says, so you don't believe in second chances? Sometimes a person would cheat and become happy and cheat no more. No, I mean, you know, I have given second chances, but I mean, it didn't work. I may as well had not given them a second chance because they didn't do no better. And then after you cheat, I can't stand you. I mean, it be hell from that point on. It makes I start looking at them differently, and then I become very nitpicky. I have to change that about myself, but I do. Because we could be being happy, and I get to looking at him and saying, this nigga cheated on me. I used to do that with my daughter's dad. We would be just as happy. He had cheated on me. I caught him with somebody. I caught him red-handedly. I caught him. And I took him back. Later on, I took him back because I was like, you know, I'm not, you know how we are when we're younger as women. I'm not gonna give her the satisfaction of having him. He want to come back to me, so I'm gonna take him back. But I couldn't stand him. I was like, I don't want her to think she won. You know, that messed up mentality. I couldn't stand that Negro either. We would be just as happy looking at movies and stuff, and I'd look over there at him. And I said, look at this nigga laughing at this movie after he done cheated on me. And I mean, I would just change instantly, just like that. Negro, you cheated on me. Oh, Tara, don't start that. You flipping. We'll be out eating and having a conversation. And I get to looking at him and say, that nigga cheated on me. And he out here happy like he ain't did nothing. My mama said, you're going to have to go and quit him because you can't stand him. I sure couldn't stand him. I could not stand him, period. And I gave him hell too. Neil says some men really do learn their lessons the hard way. Mm-hmm. The hard way. I will get started. He would tell me, please, I'm not in the mood. Please, just don't. Just don't. You get ready to get started. Don't do it. We had to go and break up. I couldn't stand him. Teresa Kane says, I think my daughter never married because she saw what her dad did to our family. Oh, wow. It's still some good men out there. I mean, where they at, I don't know, but they out there somewhere. And don't think just because they come from the backwoods, child, that they're going to be good, because you can get them from the backwoods and help them to clean the damn oil from up under their fingernails and take the damn overalls off and wash them and have them smelling like Downy, and have them talk them into going and buy them some new tennis shoes that ain't got no mud on it from them living back there in the backwoods, and helping to get their damn hair cut by a professional barber, and they'll get to feeling themselves and go cheat and can't even damn talk right. So I don't think because you help them to clean themselves up because they come from the backwoods that they'll do right either. I only date that because I only say that because I sure have done that myself. Lucia says I'm attractive and don't bring no drama and can't find nobody. That's because a lot of these men like drama. They like the girls. They like the women that's going to allow, to have threesomes and, and swing and all of that. They fall in love with them. What you like about her? She open. She got an open mind. She swings. She goes to the swingers parties. You won't go to the swingers parties, you old. Ooh, don't get me started on some of these men. That's right. They try to act like they want good women. They love whores. Okay, they love whores. They don't appreciate good women. A lot of them don't. I feel like falling in love. She dates what always says I have my own house, money, and can take care of myself. Um, Let me see something. Mm. Um, I would say to just travel when you can and have genuine male friends with the mindset that's right for you. The rest will come naturally. That's true. I know I appreciate a good woman. My mom and dad been married for 30 years, and that's what I want for myself. A lot of people, a lot of men want that too. All men are not bad, all of them are not. I would never say that about all men because there's a lot of good men out there. I have not found one, but it's some out there. Oh, child. I think the majority of men ain't no good though. Jeff said he's glad he's old school. Teresa Kane says, a girl's first man, they trust in their dad, and when they do them wrong, it's hard for them to trust the man again. Boss Lady says, my parents divorced after 30 years, and now his side chick is miserable, and so is he. That's normally how it works, because you're sure going to have to read what you saw. That's for sure. I just got done walking my dog. He about 240 pounds. Wow. Mm, that's a lot of pounds. That's a big dog. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button. Neo says men are just different in ways most women may never fully understand. Well, mm, he's an English mastiff. Have you women ever asked yourself why these guys cheated? Yeah, because they were selfish. They cheated because they were selfish. They don't have to have a reason to cheat. They cheat because their mind tells them that they're greedy. They want more than one woman. Ooh. They want more than one woman. Lucia says there's no reason for men to cheat. Mm-mm-mm. Jeff says you can always tell a good by how he treats his mother. That's true. Right. He cheats because he's a cheater. Cheaters cheat. That's what they do. That's what they do. They cheat. Hey, Big L Dog TV. Hey, Hero Fix TV. Thanks for the $5. He says, I've been married for 20 years. My wife got 6 kids, none of them mine. I wish I never met her, but I love her and would never leave her. You wish you never met her. You love her. You love her to death. You love them kids too. Um, Thanks for the $5 super sticker, Hero Fix TV. Lucia says, I disagree, Jeff. I know a dude that treated his mom well, but she was trash, and so was he. Ooh, child. Lucille. Shout out to Hero Fix TV. Hero Fix TV does a lot of shows on fentanyl. Am I right, Hero Fix TV? He does a lot of shows on fentanyl and um drug use and stuff like that. Very informative. Yeah, this type of weather has me tired too. I love it when it rains, but I like for it to be warm when it rains. Cold rain is I'm so glad that we're coming to the end of the winter. Whew. I'd rather for it to be hot than cold. I can't stand the cold. It had me lazy, unmotivated. She used him for money, but her others weren't thinking about her. She was 60 years old with nothing. She was never about any money or business, just laid on her back and had kids. Lord. My husband has been more of a father than their real father, and Bow he wants to be in their life, and they told him they already have a good dad. Wow. Tony said that's well, Tony, what is why do men cheat, Tony? Why do they cheat? I want you to tell me why men cheat. Because they have low self-esteem. Oh, y'all, we need one more like. Y'all hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Let me see how many likes we got. Hey, Big Perm. Big Perm. I'm not Tony, I was waiting for what you was gonna say. He said that's not it. I'm not even gonna ever try to give any insight on why men do what uh on why men do that is pointless. Right. They end up losing um what's best for them in the end anyways. Because one thing about we're women. You heard what the young lady just said. Who's that said that their mom and her mother and daddy got divorced after 30 years, and now the mistress is miserable and the dad is too. When they lose what's good, their good thing, the other women become disinterested too. More women are obsessed with men. Oftentimes when women know that a man is seeing somebody else, they're not necessarily want that man. Oftentimes, they are obsessed with that woman. They become in competition with that woman. Especially if they people out, they watch her, she got something going for herself, they will directly get in competition with that woman. And once she leaves that man, she's not gonna want him either. The women be more obsessed with what with woman that what he got going on with another woman and trying to prove to herself I'm better than her than really wanting a man. So that's why when he lose what he's got, and the other woman get fed up with him and don't want him no more, she don't want him either. She be trying to figure out who that woman dating and probably try to get close to that man because she's really in competition with the woman and not him. Hey, Lady Red. That's why you see some women, if they see a man is dating somebody and she got a lot going for herself, they immediately start trying to mimic and become a carbon copy of that woman. I call that hijacking her energy. And oftentimes, if he's a damn fool, he'll fall for it. And then he end up losing in the end. His mistress thought she was going to get my mama's whole life. That's what they be wanting. They be wanting the life. They don't understand that when, when the divorce go on, especially if he's cheating, he ain't going to, it ain't going to happen like that. That's right. You could never. When it's not done right, it never ends up right anyways. Because there's some women right now that dated a married, they date married men forever. As soon as his wife get tired and don't want him no more, and he end up, she divorced the wife to have to divorce him. She be saying, "Oh, I didn't know it was gonna be like this right here. I wish he had stayed with his wife. He getting on my damn nerves." This is right up my alley. I break both of them down and gone about my business. Both of y'all. Boss lady says my mom is a gem. She been never been mean to that lady. When she's around my mom, she can't keep her eyes off of her. It's weird. Because she was more obsessed with your mother. And she probably knows that your dad probably still loves your mama. She trying to pick up on gems of your mother to have, because a lot of women will try to, figure out what it is that man loved about that woman and try to become that. I'm telling you, it happens. It's definitely time for me to have some good news in my life. I'm claiming that in 2023. Kim says, "Hey everyone, that's true. My children's father dated the woman he cheated on me with for years until I got married, and then she left him. Now he's miserable." That's how it is. She was in competition with you. She didn't even want him. That's true, Lady Red. She wants to be her. That's how it is. The women always, if that woman has something going for herself, that lady will always, she becomes in competition with the woman. She don't necessarily even want that man. She have to prove to herself that she's better than that woman. So when that lady go on with her life, she don't even want the man no more. Lucille said he looks like somebody's great uncle. I was never mean to ex-wives. I felt sorry for them. Letitia says that part Lucia had to take his regular trash can ass on over to the dumpster. Woo wee. Lord have mercy. Jeff says, y'all cap and remember the singing group from Memphis. They made the song I'll Be the Other Woman. Your Honor, I rest my case. I can't be the other woman. I don't play second to no woman ever. Who child? Yeah, let's see how many years wiretapping brings. Let's see, wiretapping. Mm. I don't know. I guess some of these folks can take them years like a champ. Letitia says, luckily their mama can be in front me. I remember that song blasting in the hole in the wall juke joints back in the day. What y'all cooking for dinner tomorrow? Hmm. He said, "What about the song about Shirley Brown, where she says having a piece of a man is better than having no man at all?" Teresa said chicken stir fry. Dara says thinking about going out to eat. A big big L dog TV. Oh Lord. Lucia says going to parents' house. Boss lady says that's Betty Wright. Jeff sure is Betty Wright. I like Betty Wright. I love Betty Wright's. My favorite song that Betty Wright has is "Thank You." I love that song so much. Thank you for the many things you've done. I love that song. It's a feel good song. I listen to it all the time. That's my favorite song that she has. And then the next favorite one that she has is After the Pain. But definitely Thank You is the my favorite one. I'm getting ready to play. I'm gonna let y'all hear a little bit of it. I can't play but a little bit. Can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear that song? So much. I love that song. Daryl flirting with Lucille. He said Lucille's profile pic is fire. It is fire. That man smart, no cap. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. I see some flirting going on. Neil says, Miss T, yeah, I think that the way to play music and not get flagged is to play rare live performances. Some of them aren't copyrighted. Okay. No, I've never tried online dating. I'm scared of the ones I meet in, you meet out, let alone the ones online. But a lot of, I guess everybody is doing online dating now. I guess. I guess. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna cook tomorrow. If I don't go, if I, if the person that asks me out don't change the restaurant, I don't know what I'm gonna cook because I'm not going to Privé. Period. Um, I don't know. Knowing me, if I do end up cooking, I don't know what it would be. Probably some garlic, honey glazed chicken with rice. I think Daryl is from Memphis. Hmm. I think Lucille says she's from Memphis. Yeah, I'm so sleepy. Did you see text me when you get home? That Sirius had me and my husband calling and begging our daughters to move back home. Scary. I need to be a matchmaker, shoot, for myself too. I see Lucia and Daryl making a love connection. She said, "Let me find out you a matchmaker." Neo said, "Don't be getting sleepy." Okay. I'm gonna try not to. Letitia said we got another wedding coming. Daryl, how old are you? How old are you, Lucille? Tierney says some chitlins, greens, candied yams, black-eyed peas, macaroni and cheese, cornbread is what I'm cooking. Ooh, child. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, I am a macaroni and cheese fanatic. And I love candied yams too. Letitia says we got Glock and Diane, Monica and Rest in Peace Young Dolph, and possibly Lucille and Daryl. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn my heat on. That might be the reason why I'm getting sleepy because it's cold. Hold on. Let me turn the heater on. Because it's been cold and rainy. I promise you. Oh, child. Oh, Lord. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I tend to like women a little older than me. Boss Lady says, with that dinner, I'm going to ask Tierney to marry me. I'm a truck driver. Yes, I have a son. Joel's guy said this is the new dating channel. I'm telling you. It's the grown folks channel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button. Flag on the play, Daryl. I'm not even reading. I'm just cheering. No cappers. Lucia said, "Do your friends think that y'all are in a relationship?" Lucia says she is zero tolerance. Okay, zero tolerance. Yeah, we've been on here 3 hours, y'all. Oh, it's 11:30. Daryl, what's your email address? Well, Daryl, what's your email address? So Lucia can have your email address. My favorite song by Betty Wright is "You a Hoe" and don't even know it. I've never heard that song by Betty Wright. Jeff Lee, have y'all ever heard that song? You a hoe and don't even know it. I've never heard that song before. I never knew Betty Wright had a song called "You a Hoe and Don't Even Know It." Mm. American Car Center fired all of their employees. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna get back on tomorrow. Make sure y'all get back on tomorrow. I'm tired. I'm going to get back on tomorrow, though, of course. And we'll get back on tomorrow afternoon after church. Okay. I want to thank you all for getting on tonight. And we about ready to turn it on and sound like T yawning for the 5th time. I'm telling y'all, turn it in. Daryl, what's your email address? Demo Republican says he has a stomach virus. I know that's right. Daryl, what's your email address? Lucia says she sent hers. I think Lucia wanted your email address, Daryl. All right, you guys. Tina says, and I can't eat none of the food. I just had the weight loss surgery 3 months ago. I lost so far 58 pounds. Oh, wow. Okay, Lucia says she sent hers. Okay, so I guess they sent in their Yeah, it does. Well, y'all, I want to thank you guys for getting on. First of all, I just want to say no weapon formed. First of all, I guess I want to say a prayer. Thank you all for getting on. I ask God to shield and protect us all and all of our families. No weapon formed against any of us shall prosper. Anything that rises up against us, any lying tongue that rises up against us will be condemned. I want to thank you guys for supporting my channel, for getting on tonight. You guys make this channel what it is as we continue to go up. I want you guys to know that I do love you guys, and I'll be back on tomorrow. I'll probably drop a few videos tomorrow, and then I'm going to do a live tomorrow afternoon, okay? I love you guys. Have a good night.